Disclaimer. I am a podcaster, motivational speaker, and full-time counselor. And here on this platform, it is my job to talk about current affairs and trending topics that have been discussed, posted, and even floating around on social media. I do not claim to be the voice for all, nor do I claim to know it all. Therefore, remember this if you remember nothing at all. It is okay that we agree to disagree, as long as it is respectful. Every Friday at 7 p.m., I will be talking about whatever I like, and you will have the opportunity to share your voice. Now, if you can handle it, have a seat, and if you can't, feel free to exit stage left. With that being said, let the discussion begin. What's up, guys? Hello. Okay, guys, make sure you can tell me that you can hear me. I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. So say you can hear me. Thumbs up would be great. That would work. So let me make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me, guys? Hello? Let's make sure. Loud and clear. Awesome. So hello, Kofi, Miss Alexander, Kendra, Lenny. Hello, Naomi, Artina. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Rob. Welcome to today's show. As you can see from the set, we are celebrating the last day of June with Pride Month. So drop your rainbow flags, drop a rainbow in the comment for the LGBTQ community, LGBTQ plus community, so that we can have a conversation. So that's what this show is about today. It is about having a conversation about this wonderful community and what are some of our concerns, challenges with supporting the community. What are our views about it? That's what I want to have a conversation about. I thought it was most appropriate to have this conversation today, as it is the month of June, and the month of June is very much Pride Month, all month long. So I wanted to have a conversation with you guys. I wanted to get your feedback about today show. What do you think about the show? So forth and so on. So before we jump into that, let's get some house rules out of the way. Okay? As everybody know, thumbs up. The thumbs up says that you are jiving with the show. You get it. You understand it. It is something that is fulfilling the time that you're with me here on the show, and that the show is making sense to you. You can understand what topics we're talking about. You can relate to topics. You feel a part of the community here on the podcast show. So always use the thumbs up. Show your love and support that way, that one way, by giving us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Remember, if you give a thumbs down, make sure you tell us why you're giving a thumbs down. We cannot assume what you did not like about the show. So thumbs up, post a comment. Thumbs down, post a comment, right? Don't forget that. Also, as always, you should be following us on these platforms right here. We got YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So make sure that you are following the show on those platforms so that you don't miss out on anything. I am pulling up my boots by the straps and trying to make blast out there through these social platforms so that you have an idea what the show is about. So somebody told me that they was able to see what we were talking about and wanted to confirm, and yes, so we will be doing better with that. So please follow the show on these platforms here, right? Don't forget, we have a portion of the show that's called QA, question and answers. That don't always mean you're asking me the question. You may be asking someone in the chat, in the comments, a question. You may even be challenging their views or their comment about something. This is a safe space for us all. So here, As always, we can agree to disagree. And if we disagree, as long as it's respectful, it's okay with me, right? Um, this show is about real talk. So if your feelings get hurt quickly, I hate to see you leave. I want to see you stay, but this is probably not the platform for you because on this show, we are expected and required to be transparent as possible. So, with that being said, we don't want to give you fluff. It's real talk, real talk. It's in your face, it's raw, it's respectful from the person delivering it. So we want to make sure that we respect that the way we deliver the message. Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And if how you say it is offensive, you might want to check that. What you say may not be your problem. It may be a them problem because they don't know how to be open, whoever they is. So let's remember to keep it respectful. We always support those who support us, and that is we also we do giveaways. So we're going to be doing more and more and more of that. Trust me. There will be giveaways portion of the show. So stay with us. Stay committed. I also want to give a beautiful shout out to and congratulate. Hold on one second, guys. I want to give a shout out and congratulate Dawn and her family on their son going to college to play college football and also his academics, right? To get this education as a young black man that's going to be making moves in this world. We want to raise him up and hello Dolores, raise him up and cheer him on. Jameer, I think his name is, because I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but I believe the name is pronounced Jameer. And if I'm saying it wrong, Dawn, you can correct me. But we want to lift up Dawn and her family for doing an awesome job raising her beautiful young son, son that is going to be doing great things in the NFL in the future. Claim it and you shall receive it. So yeah, big up to you. Now, let's dive into this conversation. So I wanted to have this last day of June, again, as I stated earlier, to talk about Pride Month and what it means to celebrate Pride Month, what it means to be an ally to the LGBTQ plus community, and what are some of the questions that we find ourselves faced with and not really sure how to ask. Why do we think the way we think? So why aren't we challenging ourselves to have an open mind? How are we supporting the LGBTQ plus community in a way as being an ally to them? I mean, with voting rights, marriage, there's some steps that's been made. But with your president in office, my understanding is that he's been trying to undo some of these things that have been put in place by the previous president. So what are your views? What are your views? What are your views? And how do you, first question, how do you support the LGBTQ community? What is one thing that you do to support? Because, I know you're texting and typing, so it could be lengthy, but what is your views? And what is one way that you support this community? I love when you guys just support our people in the chats. I'm looking at the comments now and people like hands up, rainbows. You guys are, I have the best audience. Darn Wendy Williams using that thing by saying, oh, the co-host, you guys are the true co-hosts. So yeah, let's keep it pressing. Anyway, how do you support the LGBTQ community? How do you do that? How do you honestly show support? Or for some of you who may not support the LGBT community, what is one thing that is in your way for supporting this community? That is a question for you guys, because I can tell you for me, support is support. I'm going to tell you for me, love is love. Love is love. It is love. Whether two women loving each other, two men loving each other, love is love. I didn't know love had a color. I thought love was colorless. So my way of supporting the community is saying that I have no bad judgment about who you love. I have no judgment about who is in your bedroom. I have no judgment about you working hard and you leave your money to your loved one. I have no judgment about that. None. It is not my business. And if I'm going to make it my business, then I should make it my business to support, not tear down. Let's go while you guys are thinking about how you want to respond, and you may be, typing. Here's the thing. If we talk about equality for black people, if we talk about equality for women in the work field, if we're talking about fairness across the board, then how can we exclude the LGBTQ community? Isn't that a little bit hypocritical? So you may not be you in the audience, but you, whoever you may be, you want fair rights, you want equality, but you want to decide now that you get it that someone else can't have it because they love the same sex. I don't understand that. I don't understand why it's anybody's business that who you love. Why does anyone want to take on the role of it's my business to tell you who you should love? I don't understand. I don't know why people are struggling to mind their business and allow love to be just that, love. I don't understand it. Sorry, guys, I just moved. Oh, no, I didn't move myself. Good. I don't understand it. And I want to understand people's thinking. Let's see here. I tell people to respect other people's pronouns and stand with the community. I just don't know what else I can do. If a question comes up on the ballot, I will always support. Okay, Dawn. Thanks for bringing in the ballot, how we vote. Miss Alexander, love is love. I may not do anything as a whole, but I speak to them just in passing. Treat them with be treated, give them. Absolutely. I never understood how some black folks are against gay rights and when they still. Okay, Rob. Absolutely. Absolutely. The comments show that when those individuals who stand in this position to judge other people about who they love, who they want to marry, who they're intimate with, all these different things, it's not kind of, it's very hypocritical. It's hypocritical that a person can't even go and apply for a job because you already all in their business about who they love. And I know people want to bring up in the comments, maybe not here, but later on, that, well, wait a minute. Hold on one second. This is what the Bible say. Well, if we're going to start bringing in the Bible and the religious part about it, the scriptures, then if you're going to pull out one thing out of the Bible, then you better pull out everything about the Bible, all 10 commandments. Because it says, thou shalt not judge, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not bear false witness. All of those things. And trust and believe as humans, we do this day in, day out, even when we don't know it. We're doing it. You're judging someone. Why she wear that? Judgment. Why she pull her hair like that? Judgment. Why does he talk that way? Judgment. I'm married, but I'm not in love with my husband, my wife. So I'm over this. But that person over there is fine. And that person is unhappy in their marriage. But they are still married. If you're going to use scripture to tear down this so that it fits you and make you feel comfortable to actually judge someone, then you need to take a hard look at the mirror first. Then maybe you can consider looking at someone else's mirror. But until you're willing to take a whole inventory, 360-degree inventory of self, I'm going to ask you to have several seats and stay out of people's bedrooms, stay out of people's feelings for another. That has nothing to do with you. You're not going to lose any sleep when that person's over there holding hands with the same sex. None. And if you're losing sleep, I'm going to encourage you to call a therapist really quick and find out why. Now, I know that that's direct, it's in your face, and my show, I know that the media, journalism, this is not journalism, but I'm just using an example. They're supposed to keep an open mind, not be biased, right? But for me to be transparent on this platform, I have to tell you where I stand. Why would I not tell you where I stand at? I stand in my truth. And I speak for me. I speak for Diamond. I'm not here to speak for the entire platform. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to speak for me and how I move about in this space called life. And I think it's totally disrespectful, hypocritical for me to say, well, you shouldn't do this when I'm doing something that's not pleasing to somebody's eye. Or the fact that I even know that is wrong. Inappropriate. I wonder if you guys even know what. Let me see if I have it here. While I'm looking for something, let me apologize for running a little late. A friend of mine needed me, and I needed to render my service, and I'm like, I got to get to my show. So we ran about a good 5 minutes late, but I thank you guys for your patience. I wonder if you even know about the history of Pride Month and where it all started from. Do you know anything about Pride Month? What do you guys think? I love the butterfly. Thanks, Naomi. That's cute. Yeah, kind of quiet today, right? Come on, Miss Alexander. I think so too. I think a black trans woman. Rob, I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Nope. Enlighten me, please. Okay, so Pride. This is so funny. So I was doing some research myself. And we all can learn something. We do a little bit of research. So, okay. First, definition of gay pride or the LGBT pride is a promotion of self-affirmation, dignity, equality, increased visibility of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss my word. Trans people as a social group. Pride, as opposed to shame and social stigma, is the epitome of outlook that most LGBT rights and individuals in that movement receive. Pride has lent its name to the LGBT theme, organization, institution, foundation, books, titles, political stance, cable TV stations, and Pride Library. Okay? So this movement about the LGBTQ community has been going on for some time. Let's be clear that it also has lent its name to support a big movement such as the LGBTQ community. This community has gotten a lot of backing and support from a lot of organizations and individuals so that these individuals, again, this community, can have what they need to move about this place without being judged, being shunned, not having fair opportunity, and all those things that you don't want to happen to you. It was so funny. I was looking up, I want to see if I can find it. Yes. Have you ever heard of a place called, I want to make sure I have the right name. bear with me, guys. I don't want to give you misinformation, so I want to make sure. See, once I get my tripod, I'll be able to look right there and not over there. But I want to get some background information for you. Okay, check this out. The 1950s and 60s, the United States was extremely repressive legally of social pride for the LGBT people. In this context, American homophobic organizations such as the Daughters of Billets, and other organizations, not right now, coordinated some of the earliest demonstrations of the modern LGBT rights movement. These two organizations are in particular carried out pickets and called annual reminders in the form of the American LGBTQ community for civil rights. Something else. Have you ever heard of I know I was right, the Stonewall Inn? I've been in that area before, of course. It's in the Village in New York, but I didn't know that the Stonewall Inn was owned by the mafias back in the day. Can you believe it? So no wonder they were calling it the Stonewall Riot. I didn't understand what that was, but a little bit of that, it says, early on the morning of Saturday, June 28, 1969, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans persons riot following the police riot on the Stonewall Inn, a gay bar at 43 Christopher Street in New York. So if you don't know what Christopher Street is, then you've been sleeping on a rug, okay? On November the 2nd, 1969, Craig Rodwell and his partner, Fred, they gathered a group of people together to stand up and fight back against these individuals who were oppressing them about going to a place that was run by the mafia, and the mafia was only okay with this place being open because it was a way of taking money, giving them some protection, although they may have not 100% agreed with the Stonewall mission of supporting the LGBTQ community, but they actually would say, okay, we're going to take a bribe. So to give you protection, what we'll do is you're going to pay us. And for you to have a place of fellowship with these kind of people, you're going to pay us. And at that time, the Stonewall Inn did not even have a liquor license to actually give liquor. So they had non-alcoholic beverages in the early part of the Stonewall Inn. Didn't know that. Absolutely didn't know that. East Village, yep. Never heard of it before. Yes. Stonewall is where the gay parades started. Yes. But even before the gay parades started, the Stonewall Inn was just, before there was even a parade to celebrate the LGBTQ community, the Stonewall Inn was a place where they would go fellowship. They were allowed to dance close with one another. When the police would come in, they would actually separate from each other and kind of stand at a distance. Now, the police knew what was going on. But because there was some police dedicated to the mafia, the police would tip off, the police who is affiliated with the mafia would tip off the Stonewall Inn and let them know that the place is going to get raided. So you want to make sure that this is not going on. So even if you were of that community and you were there, you didn't look like you were in a position that could have gotten you arrested, could have gotten you in trouble, could have got you beaten up or anything like that. So they would tip off the mafia. The mafia would then let the Stonewall Inn, who is renting this space or paying for protection, let them know so that they can get everything together. And then once the police raided the place and left, they would go back to doing what they do. And that is just having a good time and being free to be who they were. Right? Yes, absolutely. The Stonewall Inn is still open today. But Not only is it open, but it's open and it has so much a rich history. Before I even know what that building was, because you would go to Christopher Street. The Village is a great place to shop, get some great food, and of course, I have some been an ally to the community where I have gone to support the parade. I actually should have posted a picture of me dressing up as a leopard, and I was one sexy leopard. Remind me, and I will bring that picture. Beautiful. And it was just beautiful. It was beautiful to see the parade, and I did rub my eye, like, whoa, are they really wearing this? Or she's wearing that, or he's wearing that. But the people overall, when they were coming out in unison to support the movement, to be proud of who they were, they looked absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. And I told you guys back in January when I started the show that this show is going to have a lot of different people on this show from all walks of life. All walks of life. So let's be, I say this all the time, let's be clear. There are going to be representatives from the LGBTQ community that's going to be on this platform sitting with me, having a conversation, teaching us how we can actually be a support, how we can truly understand the community. Because I know that people say, well, you weren't born that way. You shouldn't act that way. Why do you love the same sex when you were born this way and you should love the opposite of sex? Well, that's because people don't take the time to get to understand and educate themselves or have a conversation with the person whom they're judging. It makes them feel better to judge first. It just makes them feel great. And then they judge out of fear because they don't know. So they're judging out of fear and they're like, oh, okay, this is what I think. This is how I feel. So if you don't get it, that's your business. And I say, no, it's your business. Yes. I'm sorry, Kofi. I'm not sure which one. East Village. Yes, West Village. Okay, yeah. Thank you for correcting it. No apologies needed. I thank you for owning that, and you just gave us the right information. That way, if anybody ever wants to just lay their hands on the Stonewall Inn that was back when the mafia was here, that was giving some, I don't know if you want to call it refuge for the community, because they were taking money from them anyway. But, some for some things to be birthed, you got to go through the pain. Ask if you know anybody that's been pregnant. Ask them. The beautiful about the giving birth is the baby once they get here. So much love. The things that you are going to instill in that child. But to get that baby into the world, honey, you got to go through the birthing process. So I use that analogy to say that with the Stonewall Inn, it went through a very hard struggle, the birthing struggle. And to this day, they birthed a place now that's being recognized by many. I mean, many. And the fact that it still stands, because at one point the Stonewall Inn closed down. There was a fire one time. There was a couple of things that happened. But however, the community rallied around, and the individuals who bought the property end up keeping it true to its name, true to its heritage, true to the community. So big up to the Stonewall Inn for standing by the LGBTQ community and creating a safe space for them to be who they want to be, love who they want to love, support who they want to support. There was a mention of the bar club on the TV show Pose and outlined the history of how the protest came about. Yes. And if you have not watched Pose, I encourage you to watch it. Listen, I thought I was going to have a hard time getting my husband to watch it, right? Oh, he was like, guess what's coming on tonight? Because if you look beyond the physical person, not ignore them, but look beyond, look deeper, you get to learn so much. What a powerful show. I hope they keep the same momentum when they come back. But oh, it was so good. I enjoyed it. It was comical, but there was so many underlying heart feelings about that show and the message that it delivered. Thanks. I learned something new during Pride Month. All right, Dawn. So sad. Yes, furious. Yep. I think that good people have some living talking about most with discrimination is like acknowledge. Yeah, absolutely. Most time when we no off I want to say all the time when you discriminate against someone it's because you lack knowledge, and if you stay in that space it's because you don't want knowledge. No one is born that way hating. No one is born judging. You're taught to do that. You're taught to judge someone. You're taught to hate them because they have a rainbow. You're taught to hate them because they are black or white. You're taught to hate them because their eyes are shaped different than your eyes. You're taught that. Someone says you got the right to choose and you got the right to judge as well. Funny. Yes, Pose was extremely good. Everybody need to keep an open mind. Why not? The question is, why don't people keep an open mind? What would be the hurt for someone keeping an open mind? And again, I'm going back to that question I asked you guys. What is one thing that you do to support the community? How do you support the community? And do any of you in the comments have family members or friends that are LGBTQ plus? Do you have? I know in my family, I have individuals that are in that from that community. I do. I absolutely do. I have friends that are from the community. People don't keep an open mind based on ignorance on things that are different. Yes, very true. And not keeping an open mind. Let's go to another view about this. When the LGBTQ is shunned, and it's whether you're young or older, do you know what trauma that does to that individual and how it impacts that family? Do you know how many people, countless people, took their own lives because people judged them and said that they were not good enough? That who they loved or the way they felt was not important enough. So the only way to get away from this suffering was to take their own life. We're not even talking about the people who took their lives. We're just talking about taking their own life because someone or many people had made them feel that they were unworthy, unvalued, not good enough, not lovable. And then they bring in the religious platform and say, oh, you know what? You're going to hell. Well, I don't know what hell or heaven you've been to that you came down here and told someone that you're not going to make it in. And another thing that gets on my nerve is that when people just, again, take the Bible and make it fit their own. Jesus used a lot of parables when he was teaching. Shepherd, sheep, we the sheep. The shepherd is the leader. The God had chosen to lead us closer to him. He used a lot of parables, and people just like want to take this one little thing out the Bible and say you're going to hell. Well, I don't want to spend too much time giving people that kind of attention on this platform, especially today, because today is about gay pride. It's about being proudful of who you are. It's about not letting someone tell you who to love and how to love. It's about you taking your power back and saying that I will not, by no means, let you choose and make me feel less than. I will not. Because love is love. Who I love is my business. Who you love is your business. And once you realize that the person you judging could be your own, and yes, I understand there's some parents and some children that disown their parents and children. There's some people that they rather disown you because you love someone. And you're doing it with taste. And what I mean taste is you're not throwing yourself out there and being used and mistreated by someone. You have respect for yourself. So again, I don't get it. Okay, Mr. Kofi must have said something. Oh, he did. I am an openly gay man married to Lenny. Yes, he is. And that is a beautiful couple. They are absolutely lovable. And let me tell you how that's why love is love. I have been privileged. You got to call it that because anybody that welcomes you to their space, you're privileged to be in their space. I have been welcomed to their home, and there is no chandelier hanging from the ceiling and people swinging from it. There is no people locked up in dungeons and closets and things like that for their disposal. I just don't get what people are thinking. This couple is absolutely so freaking adorable. When you walk in their home and see the pictures of love, when you are in the presence of their friends and family members and you see love, you just see two people that love. I don't even look at, oh, these are two men that love each other. Like, why do you have to put a sex on their love? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So anyway, they are awesome and great. And Kofi shared that with you, and you guys had the opportunity to show him love. Show him love. Great, Kofi. So I want to go back again. Who am I? Who am I to say who you should and should not love? This is the month that is about love and support and standing by someone. How do you stand up for someone who may be mistreated at work and they are part of the LGBTQ community? An example, your friends don't like them and they're over in the corner talking about them in a very nasty way. What do? Do you stand by and pretend that you don't see it happening? Or do you stand up and say, this is unacceptable, and if you don't put a stop to it right now, you leave me no other choice but to report it. Or you don't even say anything at all and just report it and remain anonymous. I know, don't stand by me and think that it's okay, because it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. You don't have the right to sit there and judge anyone. You don't. They have enough, like we all do, to deal with. You don't need to be icing on the cake. They good. They know how to make their own cake. Thank you. If you are a parent and you have children, how are you teaching your children? Because parents, in my opinion, you should be the first teacher of them. No one should be teaching your children outside of you before you start teaching them. So if they're your children, it's your job to stand up and teach your children how to recognize the difference between who they are and who they love and how other people may love the same sex. And that love is love. Period. Just my opinion. Check them. Okay. Listen, I've been called some very nasty names because I have friends and child, listen, I have been to see a drag show. Fabulous. Honey, they put some of the ooh. We all can take a page from them. You talking about makeup or laying your hair or, walking in a shoe? Child, bye. Ladies, we all can take a page. Because the drag shows, I'm like, my mouth just hits the floor. But you're talking about entertainers, great entertainers, great entertainers. I love watching RuPaul Drag Race, tongue tied, RuPaul Drag Race. Ooh, I'm like, wow, transformation, absolutely fabulous. Pose, great show. Um, just great. I want to go to. Oh, you. I want to go. I want to go to DragCon. Child, people will probably tell me close my mouth because when I'm like, oh my gosh, and you don't want to stare at someone and look like you're looking at them so in a very nasty way. But I'm just in awe. I'm like, oh my goodness, legendary too. Love the drag shows. Okay, Dawn. Yeah, right. Drag queens are extremely talented. Very much. Very much. You're absolutely right. And we're not only talking about men who are female impersonators and do drag shows that way. I've seen women do male impersonations. Just let people just be who they want to be. Let people just live. We live one time. Why spend all that time hating a community that you fail to want to understand? Why sit in the seat of judgment when you don't like when someone is sitting in the seat of judgment of you? Why stand back and watch someone be bullied and be just torn down? Do you know what that does to the psyche, to the inner core of you? Do you know what that is like? If you're not proud for them, let them be proud for themselves. If it's something that don't work for you, just turn and look the other way. You don't have to turn your nose up. You don't have to give a finger. You don't have to use derogatory language. You don't have to do any of that. You can just look the other way. And you can do the whole community, meaning straight, gay, bi, whatever. You can do the whole community a justice by not trying to taint someone else to hate them. We all can be an ally to the LGBTQ community. That don't mean that you want to sleep with them. That don't mean right now you want to march with them. And maybe that will move you to the point of marching. If we can march for rights for blacks, why can't we march for rights for the community, for the LGBTQ community? Why? Why can't we do that? I don't understand. And when they're marching for themselves, why are you mad? If it's not a march that you want to attend to, why are you mad? What makes you upset about them fighting for their own rights? I keep asking why, because I want us to really think about these questions. After today's show, I challenge you to have a conversation with someone within the community and have a conversation across the spectrum. Gay, trans, bi, lesbian. Just have an open conversation. Just go in there to just want to know one thing. You may not want to just open up the whole book at that time. Ask one question that will allow you to have an aha moment. Sometimes reading material is just not enough. You got to have a conversation with someone. I'll tell you some of my confusion. When it came to the whole, if I can say this, the spectrum is growing across very large. I remember it was just LGB, lesbian, gay, bi. And then for me, my memory served me, then it went like, maybe not in this order, but LGBT, trans, and then out of nowhere, I heard this word queer. And let's be clear, I used to think that if you call someone of the community queer, it was an insult. And then somewhere along the line, queer was a beautiful word to be used. Now you have cisgender and all these different things that people are speaking the language, because the this community is growing and evolving. And either you want to be caught up or you're going to be left behind if you don't have the conversation with someone and educate yourself. Because it may be your loved one that's sitting in the closet, literally in the closet, struggling, 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 on the blink of wanting to commit suicide because they don't know how to have the conversation with you or someone in their circle. We don't know how many times that person probably have tried to take their life and wasn't successful, and they're sitting in a dark place because people want to keep them in the closet. You know, you want to keep them in the closet, but you want to speak your truth. Why can't you be honest? Well, you can't have it both ways. If I speak my truth, you don't want to hear it. And if I say to you, I don't give a damn what you think, then you're like, well, wait a minute. Well, how am I to understand? You know, people just want to have their cake and eat it too. And it challenges me. It really does. It really, really does. It challenges me. It does. RuPaul is a great human, but I wish he had more African American working on his show, sitting by him. I agree. I've heard some. I have a friend. She's a trans woman, very popular, very well known, very, very, very in her community. She's a celebrity, right? And I ask the questions. She allows me to ask those questions. And when I think about Kofi's comment, I've heard some not from her, but I've heard some nice things about RuPaul, and I've heard some not nice things about RuPaul. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, what is his name? Oh my gosh, his name escapes me. From Pose. He is a EGOT winner. What is the gentleman's name? The star from Pose. You guys drop his name in the comment. But I don't know if they two get along. I think or people were trying to pin them against each other. Thank you very much. Billy Porter. I think people were trying to pin them against each other because Billy Porter, again, you know, from the show Pose, and then RuPaul doing Drag Race. So, you know, people like to see drama going on. But just imagine these two men coming together and doing something great, and how that would lift up the community. We got to be careful not to get caught up in people's drama, right? I think it's amazing that the individuals come out of the closet early in life, such as high school. People in my generation tend to come out later on as adults. I'm glad new generations feel safe. Yes. And you know, Kofi, I wonder if they truly feel safe, or they just like, I'm just going to run the gamble. I think a lot of people just run the gamble and hoping that somebody will come and be an ally to them. You know, when we were young at that, doing what we see a lot with the new generation now doing, I have to tell you that it was so many things that people, you know, didn't speak their truth. They didn't fight back. They didn't do any of these things because they were afraid. Not only being afraid of the people outside of their family, but the people that was within their own household. They were afraid. You know, there were countless boys and girls that were beaten by their parents because of who they were. And you're their parent. So you rather hurt them more than understand them more. I can't. Listen. This month, again, is the month of June, has a lot going on. June 10th, for the celebration of freedom, of slavery, and recognizing it. Pride Month, Gay Pride for the LGBTQ community. There's so much going on in the community, and what we want to do is be a support. We don't want to hurt, we want to support. So my question is, how can we support? And let's be clear. I don't reckon. Going back to what Dawn said earlier, I did not. Sorry, I don't remember the ballot saying anything much about the community, or I don't hear a lot of the political parties talking about how they're really going to be supporting the LGBT community. Not enough. I've heard little things, but not enough talk about it. And that's frustrating for me. Very frustrating. I think that if we want change, we got to be the change. Yes, so sad that someone does not feel safe in their own home. And imagine they're dealing with this day in, day out. They sleep on at bus stations. They sleep in abandoned buildings. They're not out there, meaning those individuals, out there just having sex with God knows whoever. I don't even know why people want to associate being gay or any other acronyms just with sex. That's where your mind is. That is exactly where your mind is. Whoever that, and I'm talking to those individuals. I'm talking to everyone, but those individuals, when I said that's where your mind is at, I'm talking to you. Because in the comments thus far, I see people in support or want to better understand how to support. And some people may come to this show later on and say, what? I'm not supporting this community. It's whatever. Okay. But please don't let me recognize your name in any other platform or see your face on any other platform saying you're supporting this, when it's about fairness and, again, equality across the board. Because then I have a problem with you, and I think you should be called out, because I think you're being a hypocrite. If it don't float your boat, get off the boat. Period. Matter of fact, the Pride boat. How about that? That good float. That'll help you. I just want to wait. Let's see what we got here. Yes, politicians. And you know what? Very good comment, Naomi. And you know what? Just like when George Floyd died, and again, I saw that whole video with Nancy Pelosi and all these politicians taking a knee. That gets under my skin. If you're going to be for the cause, be for the cause on many levels. Let's see you out there when you're not at work, walking and marching with the community. Let's see you posting something on your social media platform saying that you are for the community, and you're not doing it on a platform that you're not trying to get the votes from the masses of people. Let's see you there. Because, again, the change starts here first before it starts out there. So if we're not changing the way we're thinking and feeling, then you can't be about the change on the other side. You can't be. You are faking it so that you can make it while everybody else stay behind. So let's be a real support to the community. First, by getting an understanding of what it means to be LGBTQ through asking the appropriate questions. You don't go up to a trans man or woman and ask them, do they have their assigned genitalia? Inappropriate. You don't go up to a woman and say, are you sleeping with her? Inappropriate. You don't go and ask two men, well, what role do you play in your relationship? Inappropriate. You don't ask them, why you gay? Inappropriate. There's another way to ask that question without you asking, why are you gay, as if you, because you already judged it. Why are you gay? Opposed to just asking, can you help me understand what it means to love someone of the same sex? Appropriate. All this same sex can't raise children. Well, child by, that's not true. And if you work in the field that I work in, you understand that, thank goodness, when that view and those laws started changing, children started getting homes where people truly care. Just because you of the community don't mean that you're going to raise a child in the same way. If that child is going to be any of these things, not things, excuse me, any of these acronyms, then you must understand that that child was designed and created to be that way, meaning from the womb. Or maybe something in their life that decided that they were going to change because this is not who they truly was meant to be, so they found who they were truly meant to be. Educate yourself. And once we educate ourselves, we can do better, and we can be better, and we can love better. And love can just be that, love. Across color, across gender, across age, appropriate. It's just what it is. It's love, it's just love, guys. So I pledge to continue, keyword continue, to be an ally to the community by speaking up when something is being done unjust. I pledge to continue to be the ally by lending an ear, keeping an open mind, and asking appropriate questions to the community. And I challenge you to do the same. So let's remember, June is the month of pride. Don't be afraid. Throw up a flag. Heterosexual. I'm talking to the heterosexual community. Put a flag in the window. Put a flag in your car. Wear a flag, a pride shirt. This show was, I don't want to say last minute, but I did a shift because I'm like, wait, this is Pride Month. What am I doing? I need to honor this month. So I changed the show that I was going to do out to make sure I get this show in today. Or I would have been wearing my Pride shirt. I would have got me a Pride shirt. Because I am proud to stand with the community, for the community, along with the community, speak with the community, love with the community. I love it. So, if you want to judge me, judge on. Judge on, because it's not going to change one thing I just said. Okay, my people. We just had some straight in your face, real talk. That's what we just did. We had real talk, and I appreciate you guys coming here and having a conversation. For some may have been uncomfortable. For many that may come to the show later, may be uncomfortable for them to hear what we're talking about. But I am so glad that we had the conversation. You guys are so great. So to all the viewers who may come and view the show later, do us a favor. Drop a comment about what you heard on today's show, what you read in the comments. If you're for the community, make sure you too drop a flag in the comments. And then post your questions and answers. If you see something that someone posted in the comments here, direct that comment to that person who asked the question or made the comment. And then when we come back, we will revisit this and answer your question. You guys are so freaking great. And I thank you so much. Remember, as I always say, love is all I got. And this is a perfect day on June 30th, 2020 to say love is all I got. So to my LGBTQ plus community. I love you. I thank you for being who you are, doing what you do, moving the way you move, and giving us some flavor in this world. Continue to show up because I will show up for you. To all my viewers, I will see you on Friday, so make sure you tune in. Guys, we got great things coming. I'm so excited. So I have to keep it on hush until I can get it perfected, but some great things are coming. So always come back. Until next time, guys, be good to one another as I am to you. And remember, love is all I got to give. Bye.